Greetings, fellow monarchs. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Diplomacy is Not an Option. Episode 3, Crush the Rebels. So here is the battle trance that I was talking about. Click this, and the archers rain holy hellfire arrows down. And because a lot of the siege events that you have to face is like a wave survival, the arrow storm will help you to clear the waves very, very easily. Or not easily, but easier. Alright, next, let's get builders build efficiency. Because I think what's going to happen pretty soon here is we are going to be building proper walled defenses to defend against the rabble instead of this junk wood here. Another thing I could do is get a gravedigger. I haven't had anyone die yet, so it might not be necessary at the moment. Get a market going. So a market allows you to exchange resources for gold or other resources. We can also get a simple obelisk, which will unlock the astral ray ability, which is kind of nice. We can start to build the engineers guild once we get some iron to be able to make more siege equipment, which is really, really nice to defend. It doesn't really help you clear the map. It's hard to use siege equipment for map clearing purposes, but for defense, it's amazing. It's unparalleled. So I just put down an iron mine to start to exploit iron. To produce iron, it does require wood, though, so you should have a pretty good amount of wood income before you start ramping iron. It will also allow us to build... Where is it? The city fountain. So I'm going to get 2 city fountains here that covers these houses. And what the city fountains will do for us, we go back to the homes, is it allows the houses within the region to house more people. It's very nice. Hey, Tyrush. Thank you for the resub. Hope all is going well. Another thing that I should invest in pretty early on is the Builder's House level 2. So that we can employ more builders. I can also just build a second Builder's House. There's no reason I wouldn't do that. Because I think the builders that we have right now are pretty tapped. So let's get another Builder's House.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the northern part of the map has been cleared, but ironically the attack is coming straight from the north, which shouldn't be too hard to defend against. So I think... I think the way I'll do it is just to build walls here out of stone. The attackers aren't, like, their pathfinding is not smart. So as long as you have some walls in their way, they're going to attack your walls, which makes it easy to defend against them. So pairing with this, I want to put another guard tower for the siege equipment. And that should be enough, paired with some casting, probably.
Research complete.
So now I'm going to speed up the speed of my builders, so that they can build the wall a little bit faster. Now the reason I didn't build right up against this mountain here is the siege equipment that we have has a pretty good range, and if I build right up against the mountain, there's not going to be an easy way for my siege equipment to attack the enemy siege equipment before the enemy siege equipment attacks my walls.
Oh, yeah.
So not building right up against the map edge is kind of nice in that regard, because it allows you to be able to strike first, and you lose all strike first capability if you're on top of the enemies. Alright, so here I'm going to prioritize these projects over everything else, so we get them done first. And this warning is that the first fishery that we had has gone bye-bye.
Zamorous. Got it.
I also upgraded, well, okay, the tier 2 barracks is queued, but it's not done. It's one thing I like to get pretty early on is healers, which will make your swordsman not constantly die. So there's the siege tower. Now, this tutorial map is really small, but in normal circumstances, I would have probably also built watchtowers. Watchtowers increase your view range and allows you to put an archer up there with, and that specific archer has really good range. But it's really only for archers, crossbowmen. So the other unit types that you get access to are spearmen, who are like good tanks. You get cavalry. I think through these stables, I think it makes more sense to show you rather than to explain that. But yeah, there's a bunch of different unit types.
Research complete.
And crossbowmen are really good against tougher targets, whereas your archers are good against spam. Now that we have a tier 2 town hall, we can also get some of the tier 2 unlocks. So another good one is sharpshooter, which allows the archers to deal double damage 20% of the time. And we have 1 minute left until the attack, and we are building the walls frantically before the attack comes. And yeah, I know, it's weird that it's just like a little wall section, but it should be enough. Famous last words. Now, another thing I should start to plan is where my farms are going to go. Because we are quickly running out of fish. Berries last a little bit longer because they're collected slower. But we're quickly running out of fish, which means we're going to need to transition over to a different food source. And farms require a whole lot of empty space. Now, I did cut all the trees down around here, so the farms will probably go roughly where these lumber mills are currently.
Approaching.
There was a hole in my wall that I hadn't prioritized my builders to build, so I'll try to get them going on that now. So here's the rabble. And like I said, they're not smart, so you don't need a complete wall to defend against them. And this will be a really easy siege to thwart because it's a big stone wall that's tough. And they're dead. I was not worried, even though it looked jank and last minute. Alright, archers and swordsmen, let's go. And now the builders are getting everything else built. The other thing that I could do is to get more builders. So I'm going to have the builders actually improve their own builder's hut and then build the adjacent builder's hut to level 2, so that I have a lot more builders working. So thinking about farms, as I said, I like to space my farms like this. So a farm, when you put down the farm, you need to have adjacent fields attached to it. So I like to design, maybe not exactly, I like to design my farms so that all the farms are around a few central granaries. So that it's like a farming district, for lack of a better term. So that will be a good start. 2 farms there.
Oh, yeah.
And we're already about halfway through. We've thwarted 2 of the 4 attacks. Right, this berry collector, I'm just going to nuke. So I'll put the granary, a higher level granary here, and another one there. And the eventual goal is to move these lumber mills out of there, getting wood elsewhere. So I'll relocate that over here. I don't really take a lot of effort to avoid having structures outside of the walls. It might kill a few of my villagers, but like a few deaths is not a problem because I get 41 that immigrate every day. So as long as I make sure that that they get buried, it's not too much of a problem. What is work? Why is work on hold? Whatever, I don't think it really matters.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm changing some of the priorities to work on the builder's house first.
Our troops are under attack.
Oh, I see. I accidentally removed people from working within the castle.
Got it. Do my best.
So now I have 10 builders working in the kingdom,
attack.
and that's going to make it a lot easier to
Oh, yeah?
get projects done and built. Now, I did mention that I wanted to roll healers out, so let's get... I think what I'm going to try to do... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually fire my swordsmen so as to not get them killed, and replace them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spearmen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 healers. Because if I kill them, then I have to bury them. But if I just delete them, they become citizens. So I had them back off so that when I deleted them, they didn't immediately die to the raiders. So we'll have 20 archers, and then 5 spearmen, 5 healers. So there's axe warriors, which are damage dealers to a single unit. There's crossbowmen, which are longer range than archers. They're pretty good against siege equipment, especially up in towers or walls. And then healers. Healers will also have a ranged attack, but it's pretty weak comparatively. Another thing to note is I don't have a lot of food in stock right now, so I need to make sure that my food stocks are met. Let's go ahead and start to exploit more iron. So 2 more iron mines, paired with a large storage for them.
My orders? Healers here. Yes, sir.
Did I make 4 spearmen? No, here's the 5th.
Lord.
Healers take a very long time to train, but I probably don't even need the healers that, to initially attack.
Healers here.
The first campaign mission is not particularly difficult. The other thing I wanted to make is the engineer guild. I do need a little bit more iron for that. So one of the reasons why this iron mine is producing iron so slowly is the adjacent stockpile is full. So they're having to bring their iron like over to the kingdom, which is kind of a long way to go. So just it's just very inefficient the way I had set it up.
Yes, sir. Healers here. Yeah. Our units are in combat.
To be approved upon. Another thing I could build now is the tavern. So tavern will have the people that are serviced within its range consume less food, which can make it nicer to scale back your like farming operations. So it's really nice to have your houses clustered around city fountains and taverns for efficiency. Another thing I could do once I have the farms up and running is to upgrade the houses from tier 1 to tier 2 to house more people. So I'll be doing that in a minute as well.
Healers here. Yeah. Our troops are under attack.
Alright, there's the last healer. Add in the control group, and we will clear out the map. So, if you take a look at food consumed per day, 139, this should drop by about 10%-ish. A little bit less than 10%. Because some of the troops that we feed, some of the mouths that we feed per day are troops, which aren't decreased by the tavern. Other upgrades. So there is quad healing, which adds healing powers to your healers, which is kind of nice to grab if you're using your healers as combat units. And then spearmen have a tank upgrade research as well that I'm gonna grab. The next attack is to the southeast, and that one should be pretty easy to defend against because it looks like the only line of sight, or the only way for them to get in easily, is through this zone. But just in case that isn't the case, I'll add a wall here as well. I am planning on maybe adding gates to this spot so that I can easily traverse out. So I'll leave some space for gates. And I'll have the single catapult that I have mosey on over towards the next attack. And maybe put some catapult towers here. I don't think I'm going to have time to be able to make an engineer's guild before this attack comes, because there's only 3 minutes. But who knows? It might be possible.
Our units are in combat.
And that fishery is gone too.
Oh yeah.
Now, normally when I play, I like spam archers. I end up like with like 100 archers. It's really a pretty viable way to play. Put the engineers guild up that way. Because, you know, you can always move your archers around to wherever the attack points are, and they're very effective on walls.
Our troops are under attack.
So I have the gates as high priority, and then these 2 guard towers as the next highest.
Our units are in combat.
And then what I could do is right here put a massive tower, because I'll just stick all my archers on that massive tower. So I'm rolling out a whole bunch more archers to help with the next attack. And generally, the enemy attacks ramp up exponentially. So, like, the first attack we had like, I don't know, a dozen or 2 units. The next one had maybe like 100, and then this one might push... I'm not going to say there's going to be like 1,000 attackers, but it's going to be sizably more.
Research complete.
Where are you walking? That was weird. I also do not want to be standing at the map edge when they spawn. I don't want them spawn bombing on me, so I'm just clearing out this area, and then I'm going to run back. I'm a little worried about my builders. Some of the builders are, like, going out here. Oh, I see. Build this after this. I want them building the engineering guild before they build the other wall. Now, flat walls aren't great for siege equipment. It's better to have like a... It would be better to design the walls like this, where you have it come inwards with the gate in the middle, drawing the enemy troops into like one big blob in the center. It adds a surface area to your walls, which can work against you, but allows the siege equipment to splash all everything, you know, in the middle, which is a pretty effective way to just like clear large hordes. And then gates themselves can be closed and should be closed when things attack. But if you have workers that work outside the gates, you're going to have a bit of a pathing issue with them. If and when you do that. The other thing I'm going to do here, yeah, I'll try it, is to stick my healers on the gate. And to have the spearmen waiting in the wings. So that if I need to have the spearmen come in and assist, the spearmen can assist, but the healers are like, have pretty good line of sight to be able to shoot. And there's not much of a penalty to having double walls. As soon as you get to triple walls, the walls in the middle of a triple wall will not be repairable, but like double walls are fine. And let's, for this attack, also unlock the simple obelisk. So I'll build that first, so that we can get the astral ray ability.
Enemy forces are approaching.
And there is this button over here that closes all gates, and this opens all gates. Or you can select on the gate specifically and tell them to close and open. So here we go. And I did get the Engineers Guild. So the Engineers Guild, once you have that built, gives you a really nice research, which is big rocks, which increases the hit area for the catapult, and then how fast you train the catapults. I've been not good at selecting research when it comes available, so that's on me. I should have been better about that. But here comes the horde.
They are attacking the walls.
This is not too big of a group. Definitely over-engineered the defense. But better over than under. Now, I have noticed anecdotally that there are a few different types of attacks. So sometimes a wave will be like a slow trickle, but continuous trickle. Which is kind of a test of your, like, sustained DPS, in a way. And then sometimes your attacks will be like one giant bomb, all spawning at once, which tests the durability of your defenses. So just keep that in mind when you're playing. There goes another fishery. And let's get another farm. These granaries are full, so I'll just add more granaries as well. Okay, the game has not told me that I've killed all rebels in the valley, so that is now what I'm going to do before the final wave. And I'm up to 37 archers, it seems. So I'll train 3 more. I can kind of see that they're here. Those are the final ones to kill. So I didn't use the Astral Ray in the last defense, but I will use it for the next one just so that you can see the benefit. It casts a laser, yeah, kind of like the Kenshi laser from the satellites in Venge, that follows your cursor for about 10 seconds. But it does, if I recall correctly, do some friendly fire damage, so you gotta be careful where you cast it. So, like, don't cast it on your own troops, don't cast it near the walls, because that's gonna hurt. The other thing I haven't done yet is the market. I didn't bother getting the market, so I'll get a market out here as well. So the next level for your town hall requires you to have 35 gold, and also 600 wood, 450 stone, and 100 iron. So it's a steep jump from previous. And seeing the mission objectives at the top left, I have killed all the rebels in the valley. So what I could do here is just to prepare, just to make it, this isn't necessary, but to make it aesthetically pleasing for a final defense. I will build because I've been managing my economy
Research
fairly
complete.
well, I'll build like retaining walls around everything. Because I can afford them. So this symbol is that your lumber mills are out of trees to cut down. So in this case, I just moved the zone that they work in. So the way the market works is you pick a resource that you want to sell. And I'm going to sell 240 food on market and for 6 gold. It wasn't an arbitrary number. 6 gold is the amount that you need to get better prices for your food. And the other thing I can start to do is to upgrade the housing. So I got 4 of my houses upgraded, leaving 14 behind in the lower tier. Here's my 10 builders. Now, because this campaign map is tiny, the sphere of influence for your builders and builder huts are like virtually the entire playable map area. But these also have zones, which can be increased and designated. So once you have much larger kingdoms on longer marathon-style maps, you'll probably have builders' houses working in separate regions. Now, the final attack wave, I forget for this map specifically, but typically you'll also be attacked multiple different directions, which then can be challenging to manage. So keep that in mind when you're building your defenses, is like, as you have proven yourself, you are going to get attacked from different directions later on. And you have to ready yourself for that. Now, there's different types of towers. You can build relatively expensive stone towers, or you can build cheaper wooden ones. The expensive stone towers obviously have more HP, so they're really useful to build if you think the walls will be breached, whereas the cheaper wooden ones are really nice to build if you just need to have a height advantage. So here we go. I now know where the final attacks are coming. So we have one coming from the west-southwest, and one from the east-southeast. So these 2 catapults are exactly where this attack is going to originate from. And then I'm going to want some towers here to help clear out the attack coming from this direction. So I did just train 4 more catapults, and I'm going to roll them out. I'll do 3 and 3. I'll have 3 catapults in this spot and 3 catapults over there. So this is a massive guard. Yeah, that's a massive guard tower. So let's build the same thing over here. A massive guard tower with 2 side guard towers, once I have the wood for it, to defend. And make that a higher priority. And this too. Now, another thing you could do, as I mentioned... Oh, and I should move my physical forces, like, where the fight's going to happen. Is you can also exchange food for other resources as well. It doesn't have to just be gold. So because you can get food kind of infinitely through farms, food becomes a pretty good resource to use when you're just wanting to exchange for other resources that you can't resource find yourself.
Research complete.
My lord, scouts report that rebels from all remaining camps are joining in the attack wave. So I've already cleared all of the rebels that were on this map tile, so they're not being joined by anything. Which is nice.
Yes, sir.
So I'll have the healers and the spearmen float between wherever they're needed. And the archers posted up on the towers instead of the walls. And I'll make sure to use Astral Ray this time so that you can see the benefit. Astral Ray is pretty fun to use. All right. We look pretty ready. It actually looks like a little bit of a kingdom. Here is the tier 2 housings. So they hold up to 9 people instead of 6. I'll upgrade all the remaining houses up to tier 2. And final wave is coming.
My orders. The enemy are preparing their final assault.
My lord, the rebellion has entered the phase of a psychic attack. The peasants has decided to throw all the remaining forces at us at once. Victory is ours if the castle defense will hold. So here's Astral Ray. And the western attack is basically decimated.
They are attacking again.
And then you can also slow them down with just a bunch of dark warriors. This campaign map is not particularly difficult compared to later on ones, mind you. But I can show you the friendly fire effects of miscasting. Right. It's not great to shoot at your own units because this is the final wave. You know, it's not a problem that I just killed 25 of my own people, but it's something to be concerned about because one bad Astral Ray and you can absolutely decimate your own.
Our troops are under attack,
which is a problem. So you be careful about that. Plus, it will destroy terrain as well. It won't hurt your walls though. And there we go. The final wave is done. We killed 1238 enemies. Thank you for tuning in to Diplomacy is Not an Option, which originally streamed live on Twitch December 12th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.